and grow a garden in Roblox, I have 7 things I want the developers to hear and to see. Because these are 7 changes I think the game really needs to get back to its roots, to get back to what makes it an amazing game. I want your help. If this sounds interesting to you, go ahead and hit the red subscribe button. Become part of the first 300k OGs on the channel. And let's get into the video. I need your help, the people who watch this video. I want you to comment down below and give your suggestions on what you want the developers to do. Because I'm pretty sure the developers do watch some of these videos. Not only do I want your suggestions, I want you to agree or disagree with the 7 things I'm about to list to you about what I think the developers might want to consider doing. Not that they must do, but that they should consider. Because I feel like these 7 things could turn the game into the positive direction. Let me know what you think. Hi, Editor Crow here. I'm slipping this in before point number 1 because it's so important. And as I was editing my video, I realized I didn't talk about this thing. So this is point number 0. This is the pre-point before all the points. Point number 0, remove stealing fruits from the game. I don't care how much money it makes you, developers. I do not care. You are literally alienating a section of your player base for profits, and it has to stop. Because your game is trending downhill, and removing stealing is a great gift, a great extension of a peaceful handshake to the player base that says, you know what, we hear you loud and clear. You want to know why games like 99 Nights are so enticing to young players? Because they can play them with their friends and not be afraid of their friends stabbing them in the back and stealing their plants. You know what's great about online games? Being online with other players. But if you have people and you force them into hiding into their private servers because they don't want their amazing plants stolen, all of a sudden they get really lonely like this, standing in a place with no other players to compare, no other players to show off their beautiful gardens to, no other players to look at other people's beautiful gardens and go, oh, I like what you did there. I want to do that. Remove stealing fruits from the game. It helps no one but yourselves. And now your game is dying, and this would be a great way to encourage players to play with their friends again safely. I don't care how much money you make from it. Remove it. It's trash. First thing, and I'm going to put this at the front. I actually had it listed number 4. I'm moving it to number 1 because I really want people to hear this point. The developers should only be releasing 1 pet every update. Why is this? There are too many pets. And there's not enough things in this game for pets to do anymore. We have a pet for every single situation in this game. Every single thing, from crafting to egg hatching to pet selling to mutations for plants, for growing certain types of plants, for growing bigger plants, for growing plants faster. There is already a pet for every role. And if you keep releasing pets at a breakneck speed, you're just going to inundate us with too many pets, with not enough things to do, with mediocre effects, and continue to give people this feeling of, ugh, why do I need to farm for this next pet? Why do I need to try to acquire this next pet if it's not very useful and it's not very good? Now that is a really quick one to talk about and a really quick one to get out of the way. I've got far more important things to mention, but I figured I'd get that one out there in the front because a lot of you might agree or disagree with that thought. It's basically a make pets useful again thought process, because we just have too many of them. Also, I want Grow a Garden to get back to its Grow a Garden roots and not its Grow a Pet current structure. Now we're going to move into all the things I want to see change that will just make the game better for its main player base, which is the casual player base who's currently in school or are parents of multiple children, that kind of a thing. Really quick and easy change. Number 1, the mutation called Ascended, this one right down here, you guys know what it does, right? You're all aware of its functionality. Why is it on a 6-hour cooldown? Why is it on a 6-hour cooldown? And not only is it on a 6-hour cooldown, but you have to be online for the entire 6 hours. Who thought that was a smart idea when this game is played predominantly by kids on their iPads? Are you insane? You have 2 choices here. And actually, this is going to lead into another point, and I'll get to that one eventually. But this should be dramatically lowered to a time frame that is reasonable for a young gamer to be online for. And you know what? I'm actually going to tie it right into my next point. Here we go, right into the next point. This was point number 7, but we're moving it to point number 3 because it just makes too much sense in regards to that ascension mutation ability. Pet abilities should work offline. That might sound insane to some of you. I want you to follow along with my line of logic. What is the main selling point of this game? Your garden grows while you are offline. Isn't that wonderful? Isn't that amazing? Isn't that exactly what Grow a Garden is all about? The ability to do things in the game for a period of time where you play the game and then you go offline. And when you come back, it's like Christmas Day because something has changed and something has happened and the garden has grown and plants have grown. Why do pet abilities not work offline? You're breaking the immersion. You're breaking the illusion. The illusion that your garden is this place that continues to exist while you are offline and continues to grow while you are offline. Do your pets no longer exist when you log off? Allowing certain pets or many pets or most pets to function while you are offline will continue to create that feeling of, oh man, I can't wait to log in tomorrow morning and see what my pets have done to my garden. How many new mutations of gold from my dragonfly have spread in my garden, or rainbow? How much more experience have my pets acquired from my blood owls while I was offline? Now, this will not work for every pet. An example, capybara. The capybara who gives experience to pets only in close proximity. That pet, you might want to label in its description, does not work offline. Because clearly you're not going to keep the pets in game while offline for every single account in the entire world, because that's a lot of server space running 24/7, 365 to calculate whether the capybaras are actually close to each other or not. So you can clearly label a handful of pets who require proximity, for example, that their effects don't work offline. But other pets you should allow to work offline. And you're going to say, Crow, that's insane. That's way too much experience. That's way too many gold mutations, way too many rainbow mutations. Good. Adjust the pet's values. In your head, developers, consider yourself, okay, in this world, let's say a person has 4 blood owls in their garden and they're getting experience 24/7. So how much experience do I want pets to receive after 24 hours of being AFK? You can consider those things in your brain with spreadsheets and calculations and go, okay, currently blood owls provide 2 XP per second at level 100 at 2 kilograms. That's too much if we do it for 24 hours. So we're going to nerf it down to this, but allow it to be 24 hours. If you articulate that clearly in the patch notes and allow content creators to explain that, you can even put patch notes in game that say, by the way, pet abilities now work while offline, and we've adjusted the following pet abilities to compensate. If you articulate that clearly, it's a great change, allowing people to continue to have pets that function offline. And then at that point, it ties back into the previous point. You look at the Ascended mutation, that's a 6-hour cooldown. That's less worrisome if it works while offline. You know what I mean? And now this is going to tie into my next point, which was, again, my points were listed this way. And now that I'm talking about them, I'm changing the order. Weathers should apply offline. They should. You should encourage young audiences, young gamers to want to log in the morning or log in after school and be excited about whatever mutations have hit their plants while they were in school. Think about that. Think about that logically. Now, much like pet abilities, you may go, okay, if we allow them to get mutations while offline, they're going to get way too many mutations way too fast. So we're going to adjust the rarity to compensate. We're going to make the events more rare. But by allowing the mutations to trigger while they're offline, they get to come home from school and log in excitedly to see what cool new mutations have hit their plants while they were busy being bored in school, or busy being bored at work if they're an adult or a teenager at like a McDonald's job or something. Pet abilities working offline, mutations working offline, weather's working offline, plants growing offline, fruits growing offline. Do you see what I'm trying to get at here? You're a beautiful casual game. Keep it a beautiful casual game. Allow people to enjoy this game in a beautiful casual way and clearly modify all the numbers to compensate for this new buff of availability. Oh, yes. Okay, now we're going on to a new point that is unrelated to the other ones I just mentioned. That was a big, humongous conversation of basically the AFK nature of the game. Now let's talk about other things that annoy young gamers. Why are things in the seed shop not in stock? Stupidest mechanic in the game. I want you to consider something. Little Billy comes home from school. Little Billy's trying to play your game, and Little Billy comes to the seed shop and he wants to buy cool seeds because he's finally sold a bunch of his fruits and made some shekels, and then he scrolls down to buy some seeds and there's nothing here. Little Billy doesn't have the availability or the time to download Discord, get a Discord notifier, and while he's sitting in math class in school, go, mister, what's your face? Stop your lesson. I need to log in to grow a garden and get a burning butt or I'm going to miss it. He can't do that. How you should treat the basic, and believe me, you and I both know, developers, this is the basic part of the game. How he should be able to access this basic part of the game, this introductory part of the game, is that all of these things are always in stock, at least one of them. So when they acquire the ability to get them, they build up their shekels to be able to get them, they can. This is your introduction to the game. This is your tutorial to the game. You want to hook people at this point. You want them to continue to farm shekels to get to the point where they can buy a pepper seed. And then from there, farm even more shekels to buy a cocoa seed. And they can work their way down this list, acquiring the better and better plants. That is progression for new players. Intermediate players don't need these seeds. Advanced players don't even think about these seeds. But beginner players need them. You built an entire event around the assumption that players were going to have every single seed in the seed shop. Every single one. Hold on. Let me switch my garden. You built an entire event around the assumption that everyone in the game is going to have at least 2 or 3 of each of the seeds in the seed shop to plant in their gardens so they can all get glimmering. And then at random, you give them requirements to go over there and grab glimmering fruits from those seed shop seeds. And yet you don't provide the seed shop seeds to all those new players. New players, young players. Change your mindset about what the seed shop is. The seed shop is the introductory system for new players to get into the game and to progress through its tiers, through its rarity. And then once they get to the prismatic section, then they can start doing ascensions. They finally have prismatic plants. Then they can also become concerned about all the rare things we get from the events. But you need to provide this seed shop as a basis for new players to allow them to progress through the game and get them hooked on the ecosystem of the game structure. And the same thing goes for gears in the gear shop. Like, are you kidding me? Why are these things not in stock? It's the stupidest system in the world. The people need their sprinklers to grow stuff. If you want things that you don't always have in stock, like Level Up Lollipop, take them out of the shop and give them to us in different ways. But the whole idea, the whole concept of having a shop with things that aren't in stock is just stupid. It's anti-casual, it's anti-new player, and frankly, it's anti-fun. My next point is events that require active farming. I dedicated pretty much an entire video to this concept. It's casual game, it's casual time, people are in school. Creating an event that requires active farming, lots of it, to get some remote modicum of rewards is not fun. It is not entertaining. And the numbers of players in your game right now are reflecting this decision. This event was structured so poorly, you had to nerf the costs twice. You went from 25,000 points a chest to 15,000 points a chest to 8,000 points a chest, and it's still not enough. But I don't need to beat this dead horse. This event is beautiful. The fairy world concept is cool, but everything about it is anti-casual and too complicated for young gamers. Again, the number of parents who are contacting me as a parent of a young child who used to play this game is staggering. Point number 7, and I have a bonus point after this. We already talked about this in a previous video as well. The Ascension system is flawed, and it's not even the shekel requirement. It's just the fruit requirement. Remove Drenched and remove Twisted. Those two mutations can be overwritten by the Frozen mutation and by the Tempestuous mutation. And as such, having Drenched and Twisted requirements on top of other requirements makes it so that people aren't even playing your game. They're dodging your game, waiting for the right mutation to arrive. Fix the mutations on the fruits. Including the fact that you need prismatic fruits is fine with me. As I said, as the casual new player works their way up to the prismatic tier in your seed shop with seeds that are always there, allowing them to do so, then they get their prismatic plants, then they can start thinking about ascension. That makes a lot of sense. That progression makes a lot of sense. But the mutations part of it is far too complicated and far too difficult, even for the advanced player, nonetheless, little Jimmy coming home from school. Other small gripes, just for weird reasons, we can teleport to 3 locations in this game. We can teleport to the seed shop and the cell shop and the garden. And then with a recall wrench, I have to come down here and type and use. I can teleport over here, Okay. And then with an event lantern, I can teleport over here. If you want to keep your material cost requirement for the gear shop teleport and the event teleport, that's fine. Make buttons up here. Like put a gear shop over here. Make a gear shop one. Boop, boop, boop. That's gear on this side. AR. Put gear on this side or something. And then over here on sell, just put another button that says event, right? Just make it easier. KISS. KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. It's a common phrase. It's a cliche for a reason. Simplify things for people. Overall, focus on ways that people can enjoy this game and encourage them to log in every day because things occur while they're offline. That is your weathers. That is your pet's abilities. Your ability for your dragonfly to spread the gold mutation all day long, or the butterfly to spread the rainbow mutation all day long, or the blood owl to grow your pets all day long, etc., etc., etc. Find ways to encourage players to enjoy the fact that this game is a living, breathing thing and will continue while they're offline so they can be excited to log in every day and see what changes have occurred to their garden. Slow down the production of pets and make it so that the pets you do release once a week, because that's still 50 pets a year, make sure those pets have a useful ability that people will actually desire. Simplify the ascended mutation, simplify the ascension system, and simplify the entire UI if possible. And ultimately, make it so that new players have a progression, a clear progression system for them to progress through with the seed shop. Having things not in the seed shop it's non-negotiable. This is just a stupid structure. If you want to have this structure on the tier 2 of the seed shop, I don't care. Go nuts. But tier 1, the introductory seed shop, this needs to be available at all times for people to actually play the game and play your events. Even personally, not having enough mushrooms or pumpkins or watermelons to do your event is just stupid. And I play this game 24/7. Focus on the casual player. Focus on the young player. Think about the things that will make them excited. Think about the things that will make them want to log in every day and be excited about their garden once more, and fix your game. Hopefully this was useful to you. If you've watched this far, comment down below and provide feedback. Tell me what you think about what I said. Tell me if any of my ideas make sense. Tell me if I'm completely off base, and write down some more ideas you have that the developers can do to fix this game, because it is a beautiful game. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. And as always, thank you very much for watching.